It ain't about how hard you can play OP divs. It's about how hard you can play against OP divs and keep moving forwards. How much OP shit you can take and keep moving forwards. And that was said by Brocky from Pokemon. So here we are back on ChemmyCal again. And today's game is Hippie playing KDA, Erfurt, Bezirk, Erfurt. And we're up against P.Uri.Tanner playing 79. Why am I playing this game? So let's go through the deployments and then, yeah, we'll cast the game. So might as well start with mine because I'm here. So we've got one Spetsnaz Guru forward deployed with one Spetsnaz original potato behind it. And they're just going to here so that they can shoot down this road, secure time for the rest of my guys to get up. In the middle, I've got Spetsnaz Gru going to this building, and this building. Once we get rid of that, we've got the Spetsnaz Origami Paper Aeroplane just going to this building here. Behind that, we've got two CVs, which, yeah, one's going to here, and then one's going to go to here, and then up to mid. And then we've got a bunch of Vopos and military police, UAZ SPG9s. Let's talk about those. So, you know, I got two going over to here. I got one going up to here just to provide fire support anybody coming down that road at the start, and then one pathing down this road and one pathing down this road. Typically, it's very hard for your enemy to put, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocking units at the start, so chances are you'll get through. Aside from that, the Vopos are basically mostly going to the middle. Vopos are these cheap spammy guys, like 15 points for 6 men. They've got SMGs, which makes them good in the forest, and they've got the security tag, which gives them additional vision when they're stood still. The issue is that they're classed as militia, I think, so they get all the militia debuffs, which you don't see when you open the card in here, but they are worse than you'd expect. And lots of Black Strela 2M, so I learnt this from Jimmy Neutron in our games that are on the channel. He was using these, and I was like, well, why is he using those when he can use the Igla? But I realised, well, it's just 10 points, and it's actually really good. For 10 points, that's absolutely amazing. So, you know, here's hoping on a patch, but we'll see what happens. So I'm just spamming those out. And yeah, they're really cheap, 10 points, why not? Got a supply, and yeah, a bit more Pioneer Flam, a bit more Vopos, and so on. So the general plan is to storm the forest and kill everything and try and move up. So let's talk about my opponent's deployment. Tanner making the decision here to open with 2 command tanks, which cost 255 points each, so that's 500 points, and then a fob for 250. So that's just over half his income on these 3 units. So you would expect me to have a good lead at the start, basically. Behind that, we've got 2 cubs for the no-fly zone. You put 2 cubs anywhere on this map, and then it's a no-fly zone. Check out that range. Check out that range. You might say, well, Hippie, that's the entire map. That doesn't seem very reasonable. And yeah, you'd be right. Sorry, I'm receiving. I'll just edit this part out. Very sorry. Just gonna appear offline. So, yeah, the cub covers the entire map, and I really need to get used to this, but I'm still using planes and I'm still dying. Then we've got some, so these guys are military police as well, so I guess I didn't speak about that. So they remove the unsteady traits of nearby units, but they don't actually remove the militia malice. So I guess it was silly of me to bring these when, for my guys, when the Vopos aren't actually unsteady, they're just classed as militia. So yeah, that's something I've learned now. And then we've got Conkers, that's going to here to cover attacks down this road, I suppose. And some BMP2s, they're going to the middle. And yeah, some other units, who gives a shit. So let's start the game and let's see what's going on. So everybody's going, and you see the UAZ SPG9s sort of going all over the place, and then Tanner's using... So these guys are really cheap as well. They're 10 points for 4 men. So on cost efficiency alone, I think that's... Well, it's the same as 15 points for 6 men on cost efficiency alone. And so, yeah, he's deploying relatively defensively here. This guy's not going to make it, but everybody else is deployed quite defensively because obviously he's spent so many points on his FOB and his command tanks. Don't see the need to put the FOB away from a road because, you know, obviously things are going to have to drive over to that to resupply. So surely you'd want it near a road so that can happen faster. But, yeah, I deployed early. I guess... You know, I was expecting him to use some Spetsnaz GRU with the sniper rifles, but we don't see any. Like, he gets these as well. You see on the... Well, you don't see on the unit card, but he does get them. So I was expecting him to get here about the same time as me, but he doesn't. As it stands, you know, I've lost valuable time here. Like, I should have recognized, oh, there's no one here. Expand my leads. Or even Stevens on points, but I'll get to the middle before this command tank does. And behind this we see Moto Strelki. So Moto Strelki regular, not the BMP ones, get the good RPG. And that's a good RPG for forest fighting. And another Conkers, and the Conkers is going to there. So I guess he'll repath that once it gets there. Over here, you know, I need to be going, but you can see that the Vopos are getting, you know, their suppression is reduced from the military Strafen. Militaire... or whatever. I can't be bothered. Yeah, so it grants a suppression regeneration bonus. So don't sleep on these guys in the forest, you know. They're really good. So first kill of the game. UAZ SPG-9 shooting Saperis. This was a mistake, really. I should have realized, well, you know, I'm never going to kill that. Typically, you want to target transports and be a pain in the neck. So I should have noticed that straight away and just got out of there before he died. As it stands, he's going to die now. So I noticed with this guy. And this guy I'll see him briefly, but not for long enough to shoot his gun. Over here, I'm still trying to move up. I don't know where his guys are, so it takes me a little bit. But yeah, this was a bit of a waste of time. And I'm +3 now because of this tank CV hasn't got here yet. This SPG gets through, and I think it's going to cap this gas now. I mean, it should do. Yeah, I capped the gas. Amazing. And I'm trying to move up the Spetsnaz OP. Like, these are really good anti-tank, but, you know, they've only got 4 strength, so they tend to die quite quickly. And 21 AP against this T80 BVK in the forest. The suppression's not great, right? So, you know, you'd need... I'm probably going to die when I get up to that. So over here, I don't have any recon on this side, which was a bit silly. You know, 1 recon unit here would be good. Like, this guy here can be decent. And this is going to be an issue. But I bring up some mortars, and I unload them too far away, really. I should unload them over here, because the closer you are with mortars, the more damage you deal, because the closer the range. So, got these guys, you know, and we're being engaged by the infantry. We stop to hit the BMP, and then we both miss. So that's cool. Just you know, just both miss. But, you know, as soon as I saw the infantry, I should have pulled back and just said I'm outmatched on infantry here, so it's sort of my fault. Over here, my UAZs get hit, spotted by that chopper, so that was a mistake. I should have sent one over here, really, and then tried to move him down here to shoot reinforcements. Imagine if I got to this fob. That would have been pretty cool. But my blob is more substantial here, and that's what KDA is all about. Now, you might say KDA is just a bad Untermensch, and you'd be right to some extent. But KDA gets a couple things that Untermensch doesn't. It gets a helicopter. So sadly, I don't get that, even though I got the back shot off on the first one, because it's a heat gun. It doesn't get more damage with range, right? So that didn't help that. So yeah, KDA. What's KDA got going for it? It gets Spetsnaz GRU, which Unternehmen don't get. It gets Spetsnaz OP, which Unternehmen don't get, I think. It gets recon helicopters, which Unternehmen don't get, and 2 cards of T55A, which is really useful when you're trying this sort of strategy. I believe the UAZ faggot, Unternehmen doesn't get. So there are things that you can do here. So here, you know, you see how fast small arms stun this? I mean, obviously, if you're going to fly over 10 guys, this is not very intelligent, but you saw how fast he got stunned there by the small arms, which is something I don't really agree with. But now I'm going to use my OP nose guns to one-pass him. And then I use this to try and kill this guy, but I just get clipped, and I would have got him. I would have got him, and that would have been huge. But as it stands, you know, I try and get a side shot off, but he turns so fast in the 2-second aim time that it was a front shot and it missed anyway. But if I had had that rocket plane forwards, and instead of sending it to kill the helicopter, I sent it over here to tank those cub hits, then that cluster would have hit. So, my fault. Over here, you see the power of these 10-point Strelas. They're just crazy. I don't know why I moved this out. It's 10 points, 40% accuracy. It's mad. Absolutely mad. Just spam them everywhere. Pretty sure you get like 8 or 12 of them. Now I'm trying to move up some T-55s, but I've not got this road covered. I need a Conquers team here and a recon here, because everybody that comes down here is going to start getting shot by this tank now. And you begin to see that happening. So yeah, we're trying to build the blob in preparation for a grand attack, but from a purely utilitarian point of view, this is not an intelligent thing to do, because I'm already in the zone, and I might as well just let him push into me. But instead, I'm trying to have fun, and so I'm going to push into him, and we'll see how that goes for me. On this side, you know, I brought up another mortar for the smoke and everything. I'm going to try and hit this, but I don't have any AT here, right? So, you know, T-55s at close range can kill anything at knife fight range because of the kinetic projectile. The closer you are, the more damage it does, and at max vet, you got a pretty good idea. And then I make another mistake. So now I'm attacking with these T-55s, and this Conquers is here, and I can't see it because I don't have the recon. The recon's over here in the smoke. And so I just sort of run at it, and they're just dying one at a time. It's got plenty of supply. It's not going to run out of supply. And I'm just sort of running at it, and I can't see it, which is fair enough. I mean, it's a tank, right? You shouldn't be able to see people who are a kilometre away in a building with a tank, but this was just really dumb. This entire strategy just wasn't very intelligent, but I wanted to kill this guy, but, you know, by the time I get there, it's like the Conquers just killed everybody, so... bit silly of me, but I managed to smoke this up, but obviously he's just going to move. And... yeah, not a very intelligent play. And I'm trying to do the same on this side, so I smoke over here as well. But there's just too much infantry here, really, for the T-55s. So the micro's off here, the T-55s are going to get there faster than the Pioneers. On this side, you know, it's going alright, but once the autocannons get in, my Spetsnaz OP needs to kill this BMP-2, but he's being targeted by the T-80 BBK, so he dies. And I only had one. So good play from Tanner, you know, out of all that, he picked out the anti-tank unit. It's pretty smart. And then I'm like, oh, I'm fucked now. So now I've got to run away, and yeah, my reinforcements are coming in. But this entire attack was just pointless and badly executed. So really the worst of both worlds. So now we're smoking this Conquers once everybody's finished dying. On this side, you know, we get the smoke up, move in the Pioneers, try and move in the T-55s. And yeah, I just sort of keep these guys going because I'm like, well, I've smoked up the Conquers now, and I just wasn't paying attention. Then I see this and I'm like, oh fuck. These guys are here, so I'm pretty sure I unload them all on the spot, which wasn't very intelligent either. And yeah, not my brightest play. I mean, KDA obviously not a very good div, but I'm not making things easy for myself here. So over here I try and drive these guys in to get the T-80, but I only get one shot off on it, and the Motor Strelky pops one of them. So, you know, that was a mistake. I should have brought a dedicated anti-tank unit, because now we've got the T-80, but all we've got is Pioneer Flamers and Pioneers, so that's not going to work out, is it? On this side, you know, these SPWs that the Vopos come in, they're not great compared to other things because they get the veterancy malus, so they're not as good as the SPW-70, but they're still pretty good, and you get so many of them. But, you know, why not? Why not? So I'm using this to shoot these guys because they don't have anti-tank weapons, but this push is completely fallen apart here. I finally get the Vopos in, but I'm not sure what's going on here. So you see this military police is stopping this Conkers from getting stressed, so he's tanking loads of hits. He's got people all around him, but he's still high cohesion because of the military police. It's kind of weird that the military police themselves are low cohesion, though. I'm not sure what's happening there. So at this point, I'm like, oh, I fucked it up, so I have to run away. On this side, yeah, so you send the rocket plane first, so it tanks the Cubs, and you put the cluster behind it. And because of that, you know, the first 2 shots went on this, the third one went on this, and yeah, he hit it. And it's not great that he hit it, but I got my payload off. Would love to see Seed get a bit better. Starting to sound like a broken record here, but we do what we can. But yeah, this push was just really stupid. And now I'm definitely on the back foot. Over here, this fob hasn't had a single supply used in it. So, you know, misplays from my opponents as well. Which could be exploited if, you know, if I wasn't being such a melon. As it stands, I finally get the recon over here, but everybody's dead. And now there's a lot more red on this field than there is blue. So I'm trying to reset up now. These guys aren't going to make it. That's not very smart. Could send the SPW around here. That'd be pretty cool. Need people to defend it, of course. So I buy some more Spetsnaz OP. And yeah, I don't know. These orange punching bags, they're just not as good as I thought they were going to be against these heavy tanks. On the front armor, they just don't seem to do a whole lot. Which, you know, is fair enough, but yeah, after this game I put Panzerjäger in my deck because this is clearly not enough AT infantry. And I took the middle, but I've not capitalized on this because of this. I have to send everything here, but buying 20 million T-55s is not it's not a good idea. You need some combined arms. So here comes everybody else. And yeah, I've now got 3 Spetsnaz OP. So you'd expect them to do quite well, particularly against these BTR-60s. Helicopters die so fast now, it's just really sad. I don't know. I guess there were 3 people shooting at it. And then, yeah, so because of the speeds of these vehicles in the forest, right, I have to spend 2 seconds aiming. And that's fair enough, but he just drives away. Like, I couldn't shoot him there, and now I can't even catch him. He's faster than me. But this is a pretty good blob from Tanner. My blob's not very good. I need to wait for my other guys to arrive. And these mortars are still smoking, which they should have stopped doing that switch to HE. Here we go. Now HE and that conquers. And yeah, I'm trying to secure my lead. So it's obviously a no-fly zone for my enemy as well because of the book. The book is slightly better than the Cub, but... Whoops. Yeah, for the sake of 400 meters, I'd rather pay 70 points less and get 2 extra availability. I believe you get 4 Cubs. I think you get 4. You might get 2. Definitely only get $2. And yeah, I've not secured my lead here because all my points are going over here because I've realized how screwed I am. But yeah, well, 1 or 2 units here would have been really smart. As it stands, because I'm in the open and he's in the forest, he sees me first. I should win in a fair fight, but it's not a fair fight. I missed my first shot, but even so, I wouldn't have killed him in 1 shot because the guns are the same on those. And now I've got this tank problem where, yeah, he's just sort of running tanks at me, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Like, I've got the Conkers, but that's... I mean, can't even see from where that is. So I think I'll bring up a helicopter now. Yeah. So this is 8 Kokons. It's very expensive, and they get stunned so easily now. So I think it's a shame. But Tanner gets his command tank in, and then I think this will lose targeting before he... Oh no, never mind. Yeah, it misses anyway. But even if it hit, it would have only done 1 or 2 pips of damage there. So over here, I need to get my blob into a more cohesive order, but yeah, I have to watch out for a burrito as well. I assumed he'd burrito me as well, so I can't blob up too much because everybody will just die in 1 burrito hit. But yeah, I've managed to remass quite well at the expense of this. Now I've lost middle again. We're back to even Stevens. And yeah, you know, the Conkers is quite cheap compared to like the TOW2, which I think is like a good 90 points or something. So that's why it's worth. But yeah, this blob is not cohesive enough. Then, I'm sending out the Spetsnaz OP, but there's no vehicles here. I could have done with firing the mortars. That would have been cool. As it stands, these T-55's probably going to lose to this T-80 BV. I mean, they don't get smoke, so I can't smoke this guy. But eventually he will lose cohesion. But yeah, you see, it's not great for me. And then here we go. So I sent this round to here, but at the same time, Tanner sent a recon to here, and I didn't send any like mainline infantry with this, so big investment. Whereas I could have put some more guys here, get a Spetsnaz OP in here to try and deal with the town. I get the CV in, and his CV tank's not here anymore. I don't know where it went. I think he put it over here. Yeah, because he lost the one here, so he moved this one over here, and now he's not got one. So the remass is going alright, but do you see Tanner's micro is a lot better than mine. He's got like 5 infantry shooting 1 infantry, whereas all my infantry's just sat around, so that's not fantastic. This is going pretty well for him as well. I believe I had a Strela here, but I moved it up and now I've got no one there. Something like this. Yeah, so this should spot him, but I won't actually have time to notice. So I'll see him, but I won't notice him, if that makes sense. So yeah, we got a good old-fashioned trash fight here, but my Spetsnaz OP's on this side and his BMP2's on this side, and my Motschutzen's not killing, and then... So he moves back, which is intelligent, and then I move forwards, which is less so. Like, I should have just recognized that actually I was losing that. He just sort of ran away. On this side, I'm sort of fucked again. I do have an AT, but it doesn't really do too much. Like, you'll see. Oh, sorry, I got a crit there, but yeah, it would have taken 3 hits to kill otherwise, and so this is not great. I'm going to move over the Mi-24P, because you see my enemy only has these 2 cubs for the no-fly zone. He's not got any, or 4 clubs for no-fly zone. And then I lose some T-55s, and I could have done with additional AAPs here. Like, the Strelas are working, but get some more of them. And then with this, I apparently didn't notice that, so that's interesting. And yeah, there's really no reason for me to lose those T-55s there. This Buck is sort of out of position. I want him here, but I assumed he'd still have tanks in here. And then yeah, we're just trying to use the ATGM helicopter, but the poor shadow of its former self. I should have left that guy in, I guess, and used the helicopter, but no, I shouldn't have. I did the right thing there, because obviously it's moving forwards here. Over here, I curved the wrong way, and now I'm going to die. If I'd curved to the left, I would have survived. So this guy's dead now. And yeah, I'm just losing everybody to these BMP2s one at a time. Like, so yeah, the AT's not amazing. I mean, this is good for 15 points, pretty good, but generally it's not amazing. I'm trying to use the Spetsnaz OP, but do I manage it? Yeah, so once they fire, they do quite well for themselves, but yeah, I need to shepherd these guys more. Like, this guy should be moved back immediately and just saved for the vehicles, shouldn't be held in the infantry trash fight. Over here, some Moto Strelki immediately put my helicopter on low cohesion with small arms, so that's cool. And on this side, I'm pretty sure I was going to lose this, or at the very least, he'd just drop a plane on this, so I had to move this guy back. But then, well, we'll return to that. So yeah, now this guy's useless from 2 people shooting AKs at him. So we gotta wait for that to come back. Tanner doing a good job of resupplying his troops, and once again I've basically just lost everybody. So I moved the CV over to here now and try and get him over here, but I'm just so thin on the ground. I've been taking too many bad trades. And yeah, so back up to mediocre cohesion. We'll see if this hits. Yeah, it doesn't. So I keep losing line of sight, right? And the mortars are silent, which is a mistake. And then I buy this Malco, which was also a mistake, and Tanner's over here. And I had the recon helicopter and I flew it over. I just didn't notice. Like, it would have seen it. I just didn't notice. So that wasn't very intelligent. Buying the Malco, this was the game where I was testing KDA, and this is something that Untermensch doesn't get. They don't get the Malca. And so I assumed, well, this is good, right? But you'll see it's not very good. So this game kind of put me off KDA. Thankfully, he loses targeting on that last one, so that's cool. But then I get one domed by the other one, and there's 4 cubs here. I should just stop buying planes. Over here, I didn't realize how far he'd made it, and then the TO-55 starts smacking all my transports, which is a shame. And he's got Saperi, so he'll probably just kill all this. Because he's shock, he's stunning everybody, but the military Strassen or Streifen, stopping them from routing. But yeah, this TO-55 here is actually a really, really good place for it. You can see he's changed the... well, it's in cover, but yeah, you can see that it aims perfectly down the road there, so that's a really good spot. I'll have to remember that one. And yeah, this blob has now reached critical mass, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I had the early lead. I'm still on a +2, but just heavy tanks and BMP2s in forests. That's all you need. And the Spetsnaz OP, if you bring up enough of these, the Spetsnaz OP can't compete. And I am very thin on the ground. I buy another plane, and this is to try and kit. So you see, it took. So I lost 2 planes for that, and I had to deploy 3 planes to even have a chance of doing it. But that's the game. If you don't like it, stop buying planes. So that's how you beat 4 cubs. Though you've just got to chuck 6 planes at it and hope that they all shoot the first 2. And then you chuck 3 planes at it, hope they all shoot at the first 2. So yeah, I can't get reinforcements down this road because of these tanks, which he's moved now. And I'm not sure how this guy lost all his HP. But oh yeah, he got hit by a cub, I remember. So you'd expect him to do quite well out of this, depending on these ranges. But yeah, you see how many units I'm losing. So he managed to get a BMP2 back here and just killed a lot of things. And I lost some guys there. I lost some guys over here. I'm not really paying as much attention as I should be. This was a pretty poor performance from me generally in gameplay. But yeah, you see that you just get your heavy tanks, right? And you just drive them through the forest, and then no one can stop you. So it would be cool if there was a patch. I'm getting a bit sick of this. Over here, it would be great if this guy had ammo, and I have the capacity to supply him with it. I could move this back here, put him back there, so... My own fault. And then that BMP2, there's just like ran out of fuel or something. I just didn't notice. I didn't notice any of this. So I've got too much tunnel vision. But yeah, you see that the tanks, once you get so many of them, they just kill everything. And I can't use planes to kill them. And I apparently can't use AT infantry to kill them. So, because yeah, keep in mind that the HMG aim time is only 1.5 seconds, so as soon as this guy gets spotted, he's already... before he can even fire, you've got 3 tanks worth of HMG hitting him. There, you'll see. So, because this is 2 seconds, but the machine guns are only 1.5. The tanks will already begin stunning this man before he fires. And then, yeah, I get 1 hit, but... obviously from a cost perspective, this is like 700 points. But, it's pretty interesting to see the tanks go in front of the infantry and... kill everything. But at this point, I've taken too many bad trades, and even though it looks like I'm winning, I'm actually just not having a great time. Because all he has to do now is just click Q and click on my base, and everybody's going to die. So, yeah, obviously watching my losses is very painful for me, so we're just going to speed it up a bit. But you get what I mean, right? The game ended about 10 minutes ago. I just haven't noticed it yet. So over here, I'm trying to deploy more Vopos, but they're not going to do anything. Obviously this shouldn't be here. This should be behind the Vopos. So, but yeah, you see the Mottschutzen, they just can't do anything. It's pretty rough. I should have put Panzerjäger in my deck, and yeah, at this point I basically ran out of everything. I lost my critical mass. That attack at the start is probably what lost me the game, really, because I lost my critical mass off the back of that. Over here, I'm trying to kill this Motostrokey BMP, but because he's behind the house, none of my guys can target him off spawn. So they just don't target him, they just sort of fly around in circles and die. And then, yeah, I don't see the T80 anymore. And, yeah. Oh, no, I did see him. But he's still on a +3 because of the middle. And he's just going to bring up another command tank, and I really don't have anything left here. I should have resigned, really, but I was trying to take some time to figure out, well, why have I lost this game? And yeah, I put it down to the push up here, buying the Malka, not very smart, because it just doesn't do anything. And yeah, the push up here was bad, the Malka was bad. I should have had Panzerjäger in my deck, because you need so much AT to kill these. Like, so I get... Right, so did you see that? I mean, it was at 10 speed, but I had him dead to rights. He was coming down here. It would have been a rear shot. But in the time it took me to aim, he turned his entire tank around and shot me. So then it was a front shot, and, you know, and it missed anyway. So I was getting hit by the HMG. So, yeah, so close yet so far. I mean, this really was a game of inches despite all this. But I don't have anything left. Like, I don't have any AT left. The Spetsnaz OP are all dead. So all I was trying to do here is just spot the command tank so I could hit him with the planes, because that's all I had left. But then all the planes lost visual, and it was very sad. Like, they were all missing and stuff, and I couldn't get visual. Like, I kept losing visual right at the point of contact, and then, yeah, I just couldn't see him. So, yeah, that's GG. Lots of mistakes made in this game. GG to my opponent. Definitely deserved to win. And, yeah, you know, play stupid divisions, win stupid prizes, but no, I definitely could have won that if I'd played a bit better. Yeah, that was that Conkers, if you remember from that push that I fucked up. Good play with the T80s, driving them into the forest and killing everything. That's, yeah, that's how it's done. I don't know, I feel like if vehicles were slower than infantry in forests, that would make a big difference. But I'm not sure how it works. I think it's just a flat modifier, right? So wheeled vehicles, you know, would that behave differently? I don't know. Let me know. A bit salty, I guess. I mean, I'm trying not to be, but I really want this patch to come out. I'm really sick of this game. I am really, really sick of this game. This patch.